If I could use a hashtag on Twitter to best explain and encompass what Raw was like this week, it's hashtag Raw is Roman, which is ironic because that's the first hashtag WWE wanted us to use this week in pertaining to Raw on social media. Because this was Roman Reigns' show. He was put in some big spots both at the beginning and at the end of the show. I think he largely delivered, and a lot of the rest of the crap in between really felt like pointless filler crap. Now, I've sat here the past few weeks in my Raw reviews and complained about the predictability of the formatting of Raw, and the good thing for the WWE was that this week they shook it up at least at the beginning before falling back into old patterns. This show got off to a really, really hot start. When Roman Reigns' music hit and he came out to kick it off, I'm like, wow, this is interesting. This is a really important trial run for him to see how he can carry off a promo segment. But the good thing was they kept it short. They kept it sweet. They kept it simple with him. Don't overthink it. Don't try and sit there and do all this intricate bullshit. He should be the type of guy where when he does say something, it has impact and meaning to match his in-ring style. When he does something, it has impact, consequence, significance, and meaning. He doesn't need to go out there and do 10, 15-minute freaking promo segments. And this whole notion, well, Roman Reigns can't really talk, so he can't be a main eventer. I say, if anything, bull fucking shit. The exact opposite is true. The fact that everybody else does talk makes him even more special if he doesn't talk very much, and when he does talk, it's special and it means something. You look at him here. He sits there, the crowd's chanting, Cena sucks. He said, when I'm out here, you're damn right Cena sucks. You know, and he's talking about how aggressive he is and he wants to fucking fight. And then here comes Kane. And here comes Roman Reigns going after Kane. And this whole brawl. Then fucking Jamie Noble get thrown to the side. Finlay getting speared. Kane choke slamming referees. And all of this shit, the great thing about it, this entire segment took about, what, 7 minutes of fucking television time. And how well did that set the table for the rest of the night in theory? Unfortunately for us as fans, after that great, interesting, compelling, and short, sweet, to the point opening segment, the rest of Raw kind of fell back into the old patterns of a lot of pointless filler crap, way too many matches on a 3-hour show, and just an overall general lack of creativity by and large. I don't care how much of a wrestling fan you are, and it's great if you love in-ring action, but 11 freaking wrestling matches on a show is too damn many, especially when most of them feel random and thrown together, especially when several of them are repeat matches that we have seen before or we have seen many, many times before. For example, instead of giving us Rowan and Harper versus the Usos for the umpteenth fucking time, could we have not found a better way to advance a storyline here, a better way to create some real heat and create a real rivalry? Couldn't we have had maybe Rowan and Harper take out one of the Usos backstage and the other Uso is sitting there and seeking out revenge throughout the show? Couldn't we have sat there and maybe incorporated their dad Rikishi into the storyline and have Rowan and Harper and maybe even Bray Wyatt take out freaking Rikishi and the Sons are seeking vengeance backstage throughout the night? And maybe you set up to a match at Battleground where you incorporate the dad into a 6-man tag. And the point I'm getting at here is you could have done so many other things, except what you fucking did was another match between these two teams that went on for far too long. And then to top it all off, you do basically a poor version of a twin magic finish. Where did this fucking come from? Like, when they're sitting there and they're talking about Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella, is going to be a match where both divas have one hand tied behind their back. I'm sitting there saying, okay, you tie up the babyface's hand first, and as second that is completed, Alicia Fox goes right after her and beats the ever-loving piss out of her. Instead, they have Alicia Fox in there fucking with the rope. Why? For what purpose? That was stupid. And then the beatdown wasn't really much of a beatdown. And then she does the stupid shit with the Red Bull. Oh, my God. Now, I understand from the WWE standpoint that maybe they look at the elements of Rusev and Lana and what they've been doing in the States and envision that that doesn't necessarily work so well in front of a Canadian crowd, which I disagree with. I mean, in a different time of wrestling, you could have done so many different freaking things with this, especially playing off the controversy of the Sochi Olympics earlier this year. You could have sat there and have Lana come out and poon all over Canada in its pro-gay, propaganda for having gay marriage legal and and talk about how Vladimir Putin is protecting the children of the world against this type of evil propaganda. You could have sat there and incorporated Pat Patterson into the freaking segment and have Lana and Rusev poon all over him, and you could have done all these many things. But again, I'm living in a fantasy land here, and we wouldn't want to actually get nuclear heat on one of your heels, because then Glad would get mad and the PC police would be all up in arms, and we forget that this is supposed to be entertainment. My bigger thing is, though, since you really couldn't do that, wouldn't this have been a better use and utilization of a Canadian hero that might have been appearing on Raw? Oh, I don't know, like Bret fucking Hart? Instead of doing what the fuck you did with them, which was wasting them with the Damien Sandow segment, so that way Sheamus could plow right through them. Couldn't you have incorporated Bret Hart here? Couldn't you have found a way to make that happen? Didn't you have a Canadian wrestler somewhere on the fucking roster that could have fought for the honor of Canada? You couldn't have tried a Tyson Kidd out there with his obvious connections to Bret Hart? Wouldn't that have worked so much better than trotting out fucking stoner face RVD for this? 1 hour main event match was Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton. And this is something that on paper looked like it could be good. This is something that has story going with it, going back to Shield and Evolution and their feud post-WrestleMania 30. But sadly, then the match happened. And of course, this match has already happened, as is so often the case with matches that appear on Raw. But there was just something off about this match. It was like it had the elements of being something really good, but it was just off. And I don't know what's the best way to describe it other than it was just off. Now, in terms of the finish, I know many are going to sit there and be upset about Dean Ambrose eating a pinfall clean here, because they're going to say Ambrose needs momentum. He has momentum. Why would you have him do the job here? Why not just have Rollins distract and interfere in his match like Ambrose has done for Rollins in his business? And I get that, and I understand that. On the flip side of that, and you know me, I'm one to call out the Breakfast Club for their burials and to talk about, who should go over all the time. I'm okay with Orton winning here because you've done enough other chicken shit bullshit with Orton over the past few months. You needed some type of signature victory or some type of legit clean victory for Randy Orton. And one loss to Dean Ambrose isn't going to really hurt him, because I equate this to the real world, and you look at professional sports. Even if you got a hotshot young talent or a hotshot young team, they don't automatically always win the championship right away. They don't automatically win a bunch of games right away. There's a step-by-step process. You have to learn how to win before you can actually win. And here's Orton, a multiple-time world champion. Having him just lose to Ambrose straight up clean to me is actually a little bit ridiculous. I have 2 questions about Dolph Ziggler versus ADR. Number 1. Why is Dolph Ziggler distracted by Fandango's dancing? Is that where they're going to go with this storyline? Is Dolph Ziggler going to develop a man crush on Fandango? Otherwise, that makes no sense. Question 2. Why did somebody determine it was a good idea to have Fandango on commentary if he was going to talk like this the entire time? I've always felt Miz is best in a heel role because he has so many elements about him that make him so totally unlikable for several different demographics of fans. I've always felt unless the crowd was naturally going to turn him babyface, you always need to keep him on the heel side of the fence. And I'm glad they're going back to Miz as a heel and that smarmy, stupid Mike Mizanin Miz heel. That's the best for him, and that's the best for business. My whole complaint about Miz and Y2J having a match here on Raw is that I really actually wanted this to be a little bit of a feud. Why not have you wait a couple of weeks and have these two have a match at Battleground and have Y2J go over Miz there and hold off and pump the brakes on him and Bray Wyatt until, SummerSlam and Night of Champions. They're pretty much just serving up Miz as immediate fodder here to Y2J to get right to Bray Wyatt. Now you get to the point where you start to overexpose Bray Wyatt a little bit, and you're also just rushing to business too quickly. slow burn this a little bit and do a little something to establish Miz as a heel again and establish Y2J as a legit credible threat again, not just somebody coming back as a part-timer to do the job to Bray Wyatt in a month or two. I thought they were going to dive right in with Paige and AJ Lee, and apparently they're not. Apparently now they're going to tag team together against the Funkadactyls. Oh, maybe the slow burn is better. Hopefully they do go with AJ as a face and Paige as the heel when they do decide to do it. I just find it funny that, you know, whether it's Paige or now AJ Lee is the Divas champion, they're both taking a back seat to something else. And in this case, it's the split up of the Funkadactyl. I will say two things about Cesaro taking on Kofi again this week. Number one, it's great to see Kofi get another win, and this time he gets the win over Cesaro and people actually see it on TV. That's tremendous. And number two, you still think Paul Heyman is a good thing for Cesaro? Outside of Roman Reigns, the star of this week's Raw to me has to be Bo Dallas. I am becoming a full-fledged, tried and true believer. This motherfucking gimmick, this motherfucking idea is awesome. The one-on-one match streak lives. It's 13-0, bitches. You best believe. And I'm telling you this much. Him wrestling El Torito is high comedy. His victory lap afterwards, and he runs over El Torito is fucking awesome. I hope the WWE sticks with this because it's starting to work. It is going to work. And you are going to create a great parody accidental star in Bo Dallas if you keep going down this path. And I assure you, if you do what the Schleg Daddy says you should do, like you did with having Stardust blow stars out of his damn hands, if you sit there and have Bo Dallas go on this accidental long winning streak, and go all the way to WrestleMania with it, you could create a fucking monster. You could create a potential money match and a character that could actually draw a little damn money. Well, you had to know that Seth Rollins in no way, shape, or form had any real hopes or visions or delusions of being able to beat a John Cena on TV. Not happening. Nor was this main event match designed to do anything like that at all. It was designed to advance two featured stories heading into the Battleground pay-per-view, and that's exactly what it did. One thing I will say, though, John Cena, you have been doing this for how many fucking years? You know, I knock somebody like Sting for not being able to apply his own submission finisher properly and hasn't been able to do so for years. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that after all of this time, you still can't apply the STF hold properly. You look like a fucking moron when you do it. Either learn how to do it right or stop fucking doing it. It's ridiculous. So you knew this match was going to end in some type of chaos. And again, by God, this show, in my opinion, really needed it. And here comes Ambrose. You know, when Rollins is trying to cash in, Ambrose comes out and he interferes. And again, I'm going to mention this. You know, why not wait until he's actually cashed it in and then interfere? Then you've cost him that opportunity that you feel you got screwed out of. What better way to get back at him? Or why not sit there and fucking figure out a way to actually help Seth Rollins win the title? And then maybe you get the title shot against Seth Rollins? I'm just saying, I love the dynamics of Ambrose and Rollins in their feud. I love the aggressiveness of Dean Ambrose. I love the aggressiveness of Seth Rollins. A lot of good elements here. But again, it seems like Dean Ambrose is kind of stupid in his timing and he chooses to interfere. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And ultimately, chaos ensues. And it's at the very end, it's Roman Reigns really reigning supreme, if you will. And the little thing at the end where you get to Cena and Reigns and they have this big face-off. And then Roman Reigns raises Cena's hands and the crowd boos. Cena raises Reigns' hands and the crowd cheers. You could clearly tell what WWE's sole focus and ambition was for this week's show. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it wasn't giving us a great, entertaining 3-hour Raw. It was all about them slutting out and prostituting and shilling this freaking free trial for the WWE Network. This was their entire focus. They spent so much time talking about this and promoting this and addressing this. And there's almost no promotion for a SmackDown show that gets over 2 million viewers every single week. I understand the WWE is all in on the WWE Network, and they have to be. They have no choice. But for crying out loud, if you want to sit there and give people a reason to actually check it out, if you want to give people a reason to actually subscribe to the fucking thing, then maybe actually give them a reason to subscribe to the fucking thing. And giving them this type of Raw is not going to get the job done. Sitting there and trying to pound and pound and pound and pound this crap down people's throats is not going to get the job done. Sitting there and having Michael Cole again develop this huge John Cena chubber, talking about John Cena being the greatest WWE champion of all time, is not going to get the fucking job done. And how ridiculous will the WWE look ultimately if they sit there and have been shilling and prostituting and whoring out this free trial of the WWE Network to an audience of 4 to 4.5 million people that watch Raw, and they only get like 100 or 200,000 trial subscriptions out of it? How much of a disaster would that be for the WWE?